Everybody's talking at me, and maybe I should turn it off. Shelter, I know that I've been waiting for some shelter in my heart. I can't control the words I've been saying, filter me out, my mind is just playing. Heart is running wild, got me talking like a child. Fire in my soul, I know I'm just faded, lifting me up, I know I won't take it. Sparks are running wild, yeah. Got me starting up a riot, I'm bringing that fire. Gonna go wild, so I get higher. Got me starting up a riot, till we backfire. Gonna go wild, always getting higher. Lately, everybody's talking at me, and maybe I should turn it off. Shelter, I know that I've been waiting for some shelter in my heart. I can't control the words I've been saying, filter me out, my mind is just playing. Heart is running wild, got me talking like a child. Fire in my soul, I know I'm just faded, lifting me up, I know I won't take it. Sparks are running wild, yeah. Got me starting up a riot, I'm bringing that fire. Gonna go wild, so I get higher. Got me starting up a riot, till we backfire. Gonna go wild, always getting higher.
What's good, chat? What's going on, everyone? Hopefully y'all are having a good day. I definitely know I am. Let's get the light on real quick. Ooh, there we go. Looking nice and bright on the camera. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Definitely know that I am on here. Let me get that right. There we go. Boom. Oh, it's a good day. Good day. We got a busy day as well today. On the whole stream and everything like that. There's the focus. There we go. Gotta wait. There. This thing is taking a minute to focus, but busy day. We got the first stream of the day right now with Storyline Season 3, which is going to be very exciting, as we're going to get into in just a little bit. And then later in the day, we have the stream for the Team Affinity stuff, with all the Team Affinity stuff, with the content, all that good stuff. So a lot to get into today. It's definitely going to be pretty exciting. So this stream is happening, right now, obviously, and then the next stream is going to be at 4:45 Eastern time. And then after both of those streams are done, and we get everything about storylines and Team Affinity, then we're going to make a video after on all that stuff, which will be going later up tonight. So big content day on this side. So a lot of stuff you can expect. So yeah, it's going to be a good week. We gave the schedule in the Discord, so if you guys are in the Discord, you pretty much already know what's going on, right? So if you're not on the Discord, it's in the description. Make sure y'all join up. Definitely trying to grow that as much as I can. But yeah, definitely going to be an exciting day over here. I don't know why this won't focus. I don't know what we're going. Is it focusing on the Bucky right here? I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's focusing on Bucky. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we got about 10 minutes before this starts. Let's go over the little teaser they did real quick. Because I think that'd be pretty important to go over. So let's go boom, 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 boom. So this was the teaser they went over. Let's pause that. This is the teaser they went over real quick. Let's just kind of go through this, because it was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. This is for storylines. This is what they came out today with. Pretty cool. Classic right here.
Say every star tells
Season
a
3.
story.
Go, baby.
And isn't it fitting That one story of triumph over adversity was founded in the winter and celebrated in the summer. Under bright lights with stars in the sky.
These trailers are clean.
A story of monarchs and grays, clowns and Crawfords, eagles and giants, and of course, stars, who defined what for the love of the game really meant. And on those fields, under those lights, legends came to play, where their passion never died, where their stars would always shine. These are the legends. These are their stories. This is the Negro Leagues.
Gotta love these trailers, chat. Gotta love these trailers. So yeah, pretty cool trailer. Let's we're gonna go back through it when we got some time. But yeah, I think there's at least 6 guys confirmed in this whole trailer that we saw at least. So definitely be interesting to talk about their stories in the game and everything like that. But yeah, once again we got Bob Kendrick back doing a phenomenal job like always, right? Love Bob Kendrick when he's in here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 6 players in here. We got obviously that first one right here, nicknamed Turkey right there. As you guys can see, that's what the little hashtags are for and everything like that. And then we got these 2 guys with Bullet Joe right here, and then Leroy Madlock. So there's 2, 3. Oscar Charleston is number 4 right here. So there you have it. And then I'm pretty sure Monte Irving right there is number 5. James Bell is number 6. He was actually in the original trailer of the game. So those are the 6 players we have. Look at Rickwood Field. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so those are the 6 players right here with Bullet Joe, Turkey, Oscar, and then Popeye Bell. So they've shown at least 6 of the guys so far in this whole trailer. Here's 7 with James Mackey, nicknamed Blizz, right? So at least 7 of the guys they've shown in Season 3 in this trailer. We'll wait to see if they show any more today. But those are at least 7 of the guys that we can be expecting in the mode. I'm pretty sure they normally do, what, 8? They did 10 last year, so they did a lot of them last year. It would make sense if they, slowed it down this year just with, all the stuff they've added into MLB The Show 25. But yeah, got about 7 guys, it looks like, in 25. They obviously had 10 last year. And then in Season 1, I'm pretty sure there was 8. So a lot of guys, right, that we have into the game already. And let's pull up this tweet, actually, as well from Scan. These are all the legends that we have in the game right now. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be in the Negro Leagues, right? So we obviously got Manny Ramirez and Roger Clemens that we've seen so far. And then the ones we've seen in footage are obviously Hank Greenberg in the last stream, and then Steve Carlton as well. So those are the 4 guys we've seen, through everything, right? And then we got these players right here are all in the Negro Leagues with these 6. So that's what we have. There were 7 in the trailer today. So that's pretty much all we have on that aspect, and it's going to be very exciting as we get into everything. So I'm pretty sure Season 1 we had 8, and then Season 2 we had 10, and then this one it looks like we have 6 to 7 so far. So definitely going to be exciting. I wonder how many actually players they can do this for. Like I was thinking about that earlier on how many guys they could actually do this for. Because I know there was a lot of teams, right? I know there was a lot of teams and a lot of players that have played, but eventually there's got to be run out of great players, right? So, but you never know, right? You never know. But yeah, because we've already been through at least 18 players so far, and then obviously we have these guys, so we are getting down. But it does scale a while. What is it, 1920 to almost the 50s, pretty much? So I mean that is a long time for some players, but I was wondering how many seasons of this they're actually going to do, but just kind of a side thought I had. Apparently Twitter or X has been pretty down today. I don't really know what's going on with it. There was some strike they had or something. I don't really know, but yeah, some weird, interesting things with Twitter. I don't really know what's really going on with this, to be honest. But every time I try to look at a tweet, it just doesn't load. So very strange, very weird. I don't know why it's like that, to be honest. But we got about 5 minutes on the ETA chat before we hop into storylines. So why don't we get some music on? And then we'll go over here. We'll refresh, see if they actually got a live stream going. Because we'll just listen to that if they do. Yeah, it looks like they do. Okay, we'll listen to this, I guess. All right, boom, 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 boom. All right, we'll lock that out. Pull this up. There we go. Boom. Let's hit it 2 times over here. 2 times. Yeah, I figured I'd just show that tweet with all the legends because it's very interesting to see that, everything like that. There we go. It's weird. This camera like doesn't focus in this room. I'm not really sure why, or maybe it's just the way I look. I don't really know, or with the light. But yeah, Twitter is just not working. It's very weird. It's just very down and not working a whole lot. They're only broadcasting on YouTube for the Storylines feature premiere. That is interesting. I wonder why. No Twitch today. Not too sure why, but all right. Oh, we got a new video from them. Why don't we tune into this? Why don't we tune into this as we're getting more and more information, eh? Yo, chill. All right, let's lock in on this. Boom, bada boom.
MLB The Show fans, we are here to talk about Storyline Season 3.
Dude, Twitter is going through it today. Oh my god. Yo, why is Twitter so bad today?
To talk about Storyline Season 3.
What is good with Twitter, man? Twitter is not it right now. All right, chat. Well, every time I try to load something on this app, it just does not work. It's actually becoming bad. Let's see. Watch it like this.
Show fans, we are here to talk about Storyline Season 3.
All right, we're just chalking that up. All right, chalk that one up, chat. Yeah, I don't know why Twitter is so down right now. We'll be live on Twitch and YouTube at 2 for the live content drops. That's good. That's good. So all live content is scheduled at 5 Eastern time. That's good to know. Good to know. Good to know. All right, we'll turn this on. Yes, 5 Eastern, pretty much. Bum bum. They like to go off West Coast time, of course. Yeah, I don't know why, dude. I don't know what is good with Twitter today, but it just is not working. It's very strange. Like I don't understand why it's like that. But I guess there was some strike today on Twitter. I don't know. There was like something going on with it. I don't know. Very strange if you ask me. But it is what it is, chat. It is what it is. Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah, I gotta update this as well. Just go down here. Alright, let's tune over. I don't know what is good with Twitter. It's actually infuriating. About 40-minute conversation. Some of the previous storylines in the past. All right, we're always down with that. We're always down with that. 40 minutes with Bob Kendrick, baby. We're down with that. Yeah, after this stream, chat, then we'll be live later for the feature premiere. They still haven't got this video. What is good with this? And then it just loads. Twitter is so messed up. Not understanding each other. Alright. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. Here we go. Let's lock in. Let's lock in, chat. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Let's get it, chat. That intro was hard, I ain't gonna lie. Right.
Welcome to a special feature premiere episode
There you
for
go.
MLB The Show 25. Control Room Colin here, jumping in for a second. Our team had the incredible opportunity again this year to chat with Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, about everything new coming to Storyline Season 3. This episode was originally set to release a couple weeks ago, but things kind of moved around, so you might hear some dates that are slightly off. MLB The Show 25 hits early access this Friday, March 14th, with worldwide launch on March 18th. Everyone on the team is thrilled to have this conversation and to hear all of Bob's amazing stories, and we hope you enjoy them just as much as we do.
Word.
With no further ado, here's the feature premiere episode for Storyline Season 3.
MLB The Show fans, we are back for another feature premiere. This portion of the feature premiere will, of course, be with Bob Kendrick and Jared and Ramon. We're talking storylines. We're talking
Go,
Storyline
Chet.
Season 3. Bob, so good to have you here.
Man, it's great to see you all. It's great to be back with you. And I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about Season 3.
Oh my goodness, we have so many great players that are going to be joining the Season 3 roster. Jared, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Super excited to kind of get this out to the public again this year. This cycle is crazy. I feel like we finish it and then we're already working on the next season as soon as it's done, and sometimes as it's still going on. So overwhelmed a little bit, but I think that's how we all feel, and just super excited for what we've got planned this year.
I mean, we got to give the people what they want. And,
Right, yeah.
Ramon's here. He's here to hold it down. How are you doing, Ramon? So good to have you here.
Russell.
Good to be here. I'm the same as Jared. Just so many things in the air. And we really are like finishing up one season and literally starting work on the next season. It never stops. But, like all things on this franchise, this is definitely a labor of love that a lot of people put a lot of hard work into.
This is year 3 of the Storylines project. We have a little bit of a room under our belt and growth going. So Bob, how has this adventure been both on a personal side and for the museum?
It's been absolutely amazing. I still feel the same level of heightened anticipation as I did with the release of this game in 2023. I felt the same way in 2024, and those butterflies and the anticipation of what's in store for 2025 is still there. And I think that's a good sign. Even when I tried to play basketball, if I had butterflies, that means I'm usually going to play pretty well. If I was super calm, then I usually won't stink up the joint. But no, I am really actually excited, and I can't wait to share this with those who have fallen in love with the storyline mode of the video game. I get hit up almost every single day on social media with people asking whether or not storylines will continue in the video game, and I'm thrilled to tell them that yes, it will continue, and that my voice will still be part of the game. And so you guys have made me a household name in the gaming community. And we're still seeing scores upon scores of young people and young adults who are coming to the museum because they see the museum and they hear these fascinating stories in the video game, and they still want to meet the guy that's telling the stories in the video game. So it's been amazing.
Shut up, Bob.
I want to hear the Hank Thompson story, because I don't think anybody on this call or no one in our community has heard a lot of these stories. Can you tell us the Hank Thompson story?
Yeah, no, and it's just another reminder of the impact that this game is having, because I think off the cuff, we just think about its impact here in the U.S. and what it's doing. But then my dear friend Joe Posnanski, the great writer, his book, Why We Love Baseball, New York Times best-selling book, was released over in Europe. And he told me that he was doing a podcast, just a general podcast with someone, no mega big time show, but just a general podcast to promote the book. He was eventually going over to London to do some promotion of the book. And he said at the end of the interview, the podcast host said, do you know who my son's favorite player is? Son's probably 5, 6 years old. He said, you know who my son's favorite player is? And Joe was waiting for him to say, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, one of the great young major league stars of today. And he says, nope, Henry Thompson, Hank Thompson. His son had been playing the 23 edition of MLB The Show.
That's crazy.
Where we introduced the legendary Hank Thompson in the video game. And here is this 5, 6-year-old kid who his favorite player now is Hank Thompson because he engaged and interacted with Hank as part of the storyline mode of MLB The Show. And he's fallen in love with Hank Thompson, a player that most baseball fans would not know who he was if we had not included him in the video game. And that just touches you here, man. And it speaks to the impact that this game is having. I don't have to tell you guys, we already know that it is being utilized as an educational resource. I've gotten so many messages from educators talking to me about how they're integrating the game into the classroom and using it to teach social studies, geography, history.
Wow.
And to introduce a player like Henry Thompson. And of course, if you didn't play 23, Hank Thompson had superstar capabilities. And of course, it was his own personal demons that derailed what was still a great major league career. Hank Thompson would integrate the St. Louis Browns along with the legendary Willard Brown. And they didn't stick and stay with the Browns because I think the Browns thought that Henry Thompson and Willard Brown would do for them what Jackie Robinson had done for Brooklyn. And that was excite the black community to come out and watch their games. Well, the St. Louis Browns, y'all, were a sideshow. Nobody cared about the St. Louis Browns. If you're a St. Louis baseball fan, you were a Cardinal fan. So it didn't happen. And so they sent both Hank Thompson and Willard Brown back to the Kansas City Monarchs. And then Hank Thompson would integrate the New York Giants. So Henry Thompson holds the distinction of integrating 2 major league teams, the only player ever to integrate 2 major league teams. So he's with the New York Giants before Willie Mays and, of course, Monty Irvin. And the 3 of them formed the major's first all-black outfield, even though Henry Thompson was an infielder by trade, which again speaks to how talented Henry Thompson was. And when Joe told me that story, man, my heart just filled with pride because I knew this already, but it just reinforced the fact that the work that we're doing is having a tremendous impact.
That is crazy when you're using it in the classroom,
in the US, but abroad.
That's kind of crazy, even in the classroom.
When we talk about impact, we were going to wait to do this at the end of the stream, but we'll do it now since you mentioned impact. This has been a labor of love for all of us. And we've just happy to be a part of this ride. But something that was always really important for us was to make sure that throughout this process, and by the time that we finished, we left the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and this history in a better position than when we left it. So I wish we could do this in person, but we can't. But we were going to give you this present this to you in person, but we can't. This is a check. And I want to highlight what this says here. It says San Diego studio and the MLB The Show community. And I really want people to pay attention to this amount.
God damn. 500K.
This check has already been written. It's already in the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum's bank account. So we want to send a very, very, very special thank you to the MLB The Show community for showing up for this project. Over the last few years, we've been donating $1 for every collector's edition to different 501c nonprofits. In the last 2 years, those funds have been going to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and we've sold a Negro Leagues Baseball Museum charity pack in the game last year. And, the dollar amount is important, but the impact, we can't thank the MLB The Show community enough. Every little bit helps. And now we were able to write a check for over $500,000 to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And there will be one more check. Don't know how much that one will be, but this first one was over $500,000. So
That's
a
insane.
big thank you to the MLB The Show community and all of the fans that have fallen in love with these stories. And just, I wish we could have given this to you in person. but digitally we'll have to do.
That's all right. That's all right, man. I wish you could have been here in person to present it. But long as you sent the money, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
As long as the check clears, that's all that
And I
matters.
think those who know me know that nothing brings a smile like a big check. But I too want to thank the MLB show community as well, because that check doesn't happen if you don't support the collector's edition. And, you know, those resources mean a great deal to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So thank you, everybody who bought the collector's edition and all the other products that made this fundraising initiative work so beautifully. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it takes a village. So everybody who bought a collector's edition in the last 2 years, everybody who
I
bought
contributed.
one of those one of those charity packs the last few years, we appreciate you so much. Every little bit helps, and you all have played a major, major role in making sure that the museum can continue to educate, enlighten, and inspire, and bring these stories to even more people.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
pretty
been
cool.
a great run, and we're still going. Season 1 was such a success in 23. You saw legends like Satchel Paige, Hilton Smith. Bob mentioned Hank Thompson. Some legendary players enter the game for the first time, and that heat continued in Season 2 in MLB The Show 24. Guys like Buck Leonard, Rap Dixon, Josh Gibson.
I really liked the one
Some
last
really,
year. I'm not
really
gonna lie.
awesome players. I can't even... Tony Stone, right? The first Negro League woman to play.
I really liked the one
just
last
some
year. There
really
were some
great
good
additions,
ones.
but
Gibson
I'm really
and
excited for MLB The
all
Show
those guys.
25. We have some great new legends for you guys to play their story, narrated by the legend himself, Bob Kendrick. I think it's time to get into it. MLB The Show fans, you know, if you've seen our cover, that 3 is the magic number. Jared, let's talk a little bit about how we're going to roll out all these amazing players in
They're gonna do the
Storyline
same thing
Season
they did
3.
last year.
Storyline Season 3. So we're going to do 3 content drops, kind of keep the 3 theme
Okay,
going.
so doing the same thing.
Our big 3 that we're starting with for the beginning of Season 3, we're hitting lead off with Cool Papa Bell. Obviously, very famously
Makes
known
sense.
for his speed. Satchel Paige has tons of stories about him that Bob has told us. And he was an outstanding player just overall, right, Bob?
Oh, yeah. No, you couldn't have picked a much better leadoff hitter than Cool Papa Bell. First and foremost, as you guys have heard me oftentimes say, the greatest nickname
Fastest man
in
alive.
baseball history, bar none. Because when I say James Thomas Bell, people say, who? When you say Cool Papa, they know.
I love these stadiums, dude. I really
And
do. It's so cool.
almost mythical like speed, but as I remind folks, the speed was real. And I think what really made Cool so special was he had the blazing speed, but his base running abilities were second to none. My friend Buck O'Neill would describe the way he ran like this. He would say that he would run so low to the ground that he could literally smack the bag with his hand and not fall over.
Damn.
Now, some
damn.
things are just God-given. Yeah, we might try to put a scientific equation to it, but sometimes you just got to accept that the good Lord gives some of us something that he didn't give everybody else. And he gave Cool Papa Bell the great wheels, but also the great body lean control. So he could actually cut the bag on the inside corner. And he was so adept that he would hit the inside corner of the bag with his left foot. And sometimes the umpires would think that he was out because they weren't accustomed to seeing anybody run the bases quite like that, which is why he was able to circle the bases in an amazing 12 seconds when most fast major leaguers today right around maybe 13, 6, 14 seconds because he's cutting the bag on the inside. And of course, he was a switch hitter, but primarily coming off that left side. So he's running out of the box anyway. And of course, Cool was a legendary member of several great Negro League teams, but he began his career in St. Louis, and I'm excited about introducing the St. Louis Stars into the game.
Ooh, good team.
And they have a street in St.
They
Louis
were in last year,
that's
but I guess
named for
not.
Cool Papa. Now, I'm going to guess that the speed limit is probably 25, 30, 35 miles an hour. That's too slow. Yeah, they should have named a section of Interstate 70 for Cool Papa Bell.
I remember seeing a quote, I think it was Satchel Paige said that like one time he hit, you know, he's pitching to him and he throws and Cool Papa Bell hits it, line drive right past his ear. He turns around and he's already standing on second base.
Yeah.
I'm like, how great is that?
I mean, you know, as I tell my guests, you do not have to fictionalize the speed of Cool Papa Bell. He once stole 175 bases in a less than 200 game season.
Goddamn.
He twice, honest to God's truth, twice scored from first base on a bunt in exhibition games against Major League All-Stars. So you got to remember that plays like the bunt and run, hit and run, were essentially created in the Negro Leagues, later picked up by Major League Baseball. And so one of the times, old Satchel laid that bunt down. And on this bunt and run, Cool is breaking on the pitch. Well, as Buck O'Neill would say, Cool Papa Bell could practically steal second base standing up. And he didn't take the big lead like you see the base stealers of today do. He took a walking lead. And by second step, he's at top end speed. Satchel dropped that bunt down the third base line. Of course, the catcher and the third baseman would converge to field it. By the time that the third baseman had it and started his throw to first base, Cool Papa Bell is rounding third. The pitcher, not thinking that anyone would dare try to score on a bunt, failed to get back to backup home plate in time, and Cool Papa Bell beats it easily. It happened twice in games against Major League All-Stars. So the speed was very real.
Speed that can't be taught, right, Ramon?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And like Bob mentioned, you know, the St. Louis Stars, you know, you want those uniforms, you can unlock them in Cool Papa Bell's store. You'll also be able to unlock bat skins and stadiums and tons of other stuff, but you can't unlock it unless you play Cool Papa Bell storyline. Who's that second headliner, Jared?
Yeah, so we'll stick with the Stars theme. Stars are out for season 3, but this time we're going to go to the Detroit Stars with Norman Turkey Stearns.
Another one of the great nicknames in baseball history, Norman Turkey Stearns. And he earned his nickname Turkey because, number one, he stood at the plate in a rather pigeon-toed fashion. It looked so awkward. And I think a lot of guys thought that, oh, man, I'm going to get him out easily. Oh, but you couldn't. Norman Turkey Stearns was one of the greatest hitters, not in black baseball history, but in baseball history.
Stadium.
And as the legendary Cool Papa Bell would say, if Norman Turkey Stearns is not in the Hall of Fame, then no one should be in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Of course, Turkey is rightfully enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. But when he ran, his arms flapped like a turkey. But as I remind my guests, this turkey could fly. Yeah, he covered a lot of ground in the outfield. The consummate five-tool player, hit for power, hit for average, could field, could run, could throw. There was nothing that Turkey Stearns couldn't do on the baseball diamond.
And I will say, you know, he's in the Hall of Fame, but I think what we found with a lot of these players that also played in the Negro Leagues is that you see the name in the Hall of Fame, but you really don't know the stories. You don't really know how good they were.
And the game allows people to get a deeper understanding of what made them special. And that's why I say so many of my young audience, since the game has been released, they come here with a far deeper knowledge of the Negro Leagues than the average visitor comes, because now they've gotten these backstories on these players. And for me, that's what I commend you guys on having accomplished. Because you could have just thrown these players in the video game with no context behind them. You could have just put them in the game, threw some stats in with them, and then left it to the gamer to just play and figure out who they were. But you didn't do that. You put real context behind them. And so the end user is learning about what made Turkey Stearns so special. Why was Cool Papa Bell so special? You admire the swagger of Satchel Paige, but then you get to learn Satchel's backstories as well. And to me, that is what has made this game so special. And I think that's why we're hearing others say that other sports games should try to do exactly what we've done, and that's teach history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, baseball just has such a rich history. And it's really, you know, one of the things that I really love about this project is being able to see these players move in a video game, because for a lot of them, there's not a lot of imagery or video out there. So to be able to actually see what Cool Papa Bell would look like and how he would play in the video game, to see Turkey Stearns' very interesting batting stance is just really incredible. So a big thank you to everybody on the character team and the stadium team and all of the families for all the support that they provided, so we could try to make everybody look as realistic as possible. Because in a lot of senses, sometimes we may have two photos of someone. You know, trying to build those Detroit Stars uniform, not easy. You know, trying to build any of these uniforms are not easy because there's not a lot of color photos.
Exactly, and in some cases, very limited photos of any kind, and very few action photos of Negro League players. So you're right, Ramon. What you've done with the video game is you've given it movement. People can see the mannerisms and the movement of these players, and I think it just helps bring them to life in a greater capacity. And certainly from what, you know, from my vantage point, the gamers are absolutely loving what we've been able to present to them.
Yeah, we've been so thankful to everybody from you, everybody at the museum. The Hall of Fame has been so beneficial. The National Baseball Hall of Fame has given us so much info. Getty has been super instrumental. And then just all of the crazy amount of research that Jared has done on his own. We have such an amazing, you know, storylines team from, you know, Malik and Gavin and all of the editors, and Jen and Adam and Sydney. You know, so many people pour really their heart and soul into this project. We like to call it an appetizer in MLB The Show. You know, get in, you can play storylines, you can do other stuff. It may be an appetizer, but we like to think it's the best appetizer you'll ever taste. But, you know, just a big thank you to everybody that's helped make this an amazing project as we're rolling on in season 3.
But before we move on to our third and final athlete for this launch drop, Jared, we have a new stadium for our fans to experience.
Yeah, so we're going with Mack Park as our new stadium. This is where Turkey Stearns played early part of his career, including like a fantastic 1923 season. This stadium looks awesome in game. The dimensions are absolutely insane. I'm talking there's a center field-ish corner that goes 444 feet away, you know, and then straight down the right field line, it's 265. So I'm talking it's crazy. It's really, really fun to play for sure. And this is the stadium, like I said, where the Detroit Stars played, Turkey Stearns played. Brian Paquette on our team did a fantastic job bringing this to life. And like I said, like, it's so fun to play, and it's a stadium that you can earn playing through Turkey Stearns' storyline in MLB The Show 25.
And that's been one of the favorite aspects of the game, is to see how you guys have recreated some of those old stadiums that were regularly home to Negro Leagues baseball, and then bring that added dimension of how the fans were dressing to go to those games. And so you feel like you were there. And all the stories that I've heard from the various players who I've been so blessed to have known, and many of them have passed on, they painted such a vivid picture of what a Negro Leagues game was like. And as I've shared with you all, there was absolutely nothing recreational about a Negro Leagues game. It was the social event of the week. And so you went to those games, you went to see and you went to be seen. So you gonna be dressed and looking good, and that's what made that atmosphere so special at a baseball game. And it was a dress-up society in general, but it was taken to another level when we talk about those Negro League games.
And I will tell you too, to kind of help bring that stadium to life, we are going through any sort of book or resource we can find. We're looking at like the lineup, where they have the whole team sort of for like their picture day, and we're zooming in as much as we can on the background to get the details right of the sort of housing and architecture around the stadium. There's so much love, and that's just like one and I talk about this every year, but that's one little example of like the sort of like time, effort, love, and care that our team is like putting into this, because everybody just cares and loves it so much that they want it to, be as good as it can be.
Our fans love Polo Grounds. I'm already like envisioning all the different clips and videos of their experiences in Mack Park. It's going to be a blast. But Jared, we have one more legend at launch. Who is it?
We do. We have one more legend, and it felt fitting, for launch for the first group of players for our first launch, our first drop. Let's go back to Kansas City and let's go with Bullet Rogan. One of the Bob I know can tell it best, but a two-way player who was not only impressive on the mound but also at the plate.
And that's what made Bullet Rogan so special, and it was a name that a lot of people did not know because he's an early era Negro League star. He was playing for the Kansas City Monarchs when the Negro Leagues began in 1920, and actually was an older ball player by the time that the Negro Leagues, are established. Played on a great military baseball team called the 25th Infantry Regiment.
There you have.
And man, they dominated everybody during World War I, those other military baseball teams. And the great Casey Stengel saw Bullet Rogan playing for his military team and suggested him to Monarchs owner J.L. Wilkinson. Wilkie brought him to the Monarchs. Bullet Rogan would go on to be one of the greatest two-way stars in baseball history. And ever since the great Shohei Ohtani has emerged here playing in Major League Baseball, it has opened up the opportunity for me to talk about the great two-way stars of the Negro Leagues. And there were a number of great two-way stars, primarily because the Negro Leagues didn't have the same roster sizes as Major League Baseball did. So it was very difficult for them to have just a dedicated 4 or 5 man rotation. So you needed versatility in your lineup. And most of the Negro League pitchers were great athletes. They could hit. Bullet Rogan was perhaps the Negro League's first, one of two. He and the legendary Oscar Charleston were the two first superstars of the newly formed Negro National League in 1920. And Rogan, to me, is the closest comparison to Shohei Ohtani. Because unlike Ruth, Rogan pitched his entire career. And he was a dominant pitcher on the mound. Perennial 20-game winning stuff. But when Rogan wasn't pitching, he played the outfield and hit cleanup in the Kansas City Monarchs lineup. Now, I want to make sure you heard what I just said. He hit cleanup for the Monarchs. And I'm going to tell you now, you don't just hit cleanup for any Kansas City Monarch team unless you can rake. And in the words of the immortal Leroy Satchel Paige, in beautiful Satchel Paige vernacular, he would say of Bullet Rogan that he was the onlyest ball player I ever saw, I ever heard of, that pitched and hit cleanup in the batting order. It doesn't happen. And Rogan, y'all, led the Negro Leagues in stolen bases when he was 38 years old. But when you looked at Bullet Rogan, he didn't look like a great athlete. Bullet Rogan stood about 5'7", 5'8", weighed about 180, 85 pounds. Satchel would describe him as a chunky fella. But he was a tremendous athlete. And I can't wait for you all to learn about Bullet Rogan. As a pitcher, he threw everything except the kitchen sink. up there at you. He had a great palm ball, a great curveball, and
Palm ball
Uncle
is
Neil would
low-key lost
describe his
art.
fastball as a heavy fastball. Yeah, he broke a lot of bats when he was pitching out there. So I can't wait for you guys to learn more about the legendary Wilbur Bullet Rogan.
And I know, like, one of the more interesting things is he was one of the first pitchers that just worked without a windup. He just threw from the stretch.
He threw with a no windup delivery, and yet his nickname was Bullet because that thing got on you in a hurry.
One of the other things I read that was, you can just read and you read and read, and these stories are amazing. And he just loved the game, and you can tell because I think he wound up playing every position besides catcher. He then becomes a manager.
That card's
and eventually an umpire.
Exactly, like an umpire as well.
He was a baseball lifer. He really was. And we're so proud that we were able to put a new headstone on his grave a couple of years ago. He was buried in a relatively nondescript grave site here in Kansas City. And a local Kansas Citian started an effort to raise money to give him a proper headstone. And we were able to put that on his gravesite a few years ago because a lot of these players in the Negro Leagues played in anonymity. We didn't want them to lay at rest in anonymity because you should know who Bullet Rogan was. And now through the video game, a lot of people will know who Wilbur Bullet Rogan was.
So yeah, those are our three players, our three legends to start off Storyline Season 3. I would say if we're looking for like what to expect the rest of the way, we're going to have more big names, more names you've never heard of. And my favorite thing to guarantee is you're going to have more amazing stories from Bob. So it's definitely worth tuning in.
Ramon, we'll start with you. Any last words for our fans before they experience this new Season 3 for themselves?
Oh man, we just can't wait for people to try it out and learn something new. Like we've all been on this crazy journey, learning so much about an often overlooked and forgotten part of American history. And again, thank you so much for all the support. We're going on. This is Season 3, but this is probably 4 or 5 years in of us working on this project, literally nonstop. Like literally nonstop. And we haven't really had a whole lot of time to really catch our breath and breathe, but we're so appreciative of all of the love and seeing so many people really react to this game mode and this amazing history has just, been the icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Jared, any last words for you?
Yeah, I'll echo what Ramon said, and also just thanks. People send me messages and about like how much they appreciate kind of what we're doing with Storylines, and it just takes a bunch of really hardworking people to get this thing done. I really want to take this time to really just quickly like shout out like Sydney and Justin, Jason, Drew, Noah, the Bens, Kurt, Charles, Connor, and Dre, and then all of our folks over at on the creative team with Malik and Gavin and Adam, and then Chris and Ashley as well. Just all, like I said, it just takes a lot of really, really hard work, a lot of long hours, a lot of painful, stupid questions from me to really get this thing in the position that it is. And I'm so proud of it. And I'm so excited for everybody to play.
And Bob, what are you most looking forward to from the fans as they experience Season 3?
Well, number one, the continuation of the partnership, but I am so looking forward to the new crop of athletes who are going to be introduced to the game. I do want to say on behalf of our entire team at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, I want to thank my San Diego studio family for the care, commitment, dedication, the dignity that you guys have given the Negro Leagues. And I think fans are paying attention to this. And we couldn't be more prouder of our partnership. And I'm just excited again for people to have access to season 2025, the third edition of Storylines, the Negro Leagues.
And that's a wrap for this special feature premiere for MLB The Show 25. A huge thank you to Ashley and Carson for hosting. Jared and Ramon for jumping on, and of course, to Bob Kendrick for sharing his time and incredible insight with us. We couldn't be more excited to welcome Cool Papa Bell, Turkey Stearns, and Bullet Rogan to Storyline Season 3. Their journeys, along with many more amazing stories, are just the beginning. There's so much more to come in the coming months ahead after launch. And to the amazing MLB The Show community, thank you. Your support of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum through the Collector's Edition and the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum packs over the last couple of years has generated over $500,000
That is
to this
insane.
incredible institution and
500K.
their mission to educate, enlighten, and inspire. Your support has and will make a lasting impact for generations to come. Thank you for watching the Storylines Season 3 feature premiere. We're just getting started. There's so much more going on this week as we prepare for early access this Friday. We'll be having episodes every single day, including updates on live content as well as the dev tourney. And make sure you tune on Thursday for the live content countdown to launch. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
All right, chat. Well, that was pretty much it. Pretty quick, though. Like, pretty quick on that one, I'm not going to lie. That one was pretty quick. Basically just told us, you know, we got the trailer here.
Every star.
But yeah, we're going to have...
story.
Meet that. We're going to have 3 at launch, and then it's kind of like last year. We had the 3 drops. Pretty much the same thing this time. I'll be in here for the next one today. I'm not home right now. Yeah, all good, Angel. All good. I imagine most people aren't, so, you know, don't worry about it. But yeah, we get 3 drops once again. It looks like we got 3 at launch. And then we're going to have 2 more drops of 3 guys, I guess. It doesn't really say. Like, they didn't really say how many guys are in each drop. But I guess we'll wait and see. We started with 4 last year. And then we got 3 each. So, I don't know. We'll wait in just a second on all that. Schedule in a second? All right, cool. Yeah, we'll kind of wait and see what happens with all that. Yeah, 3 at launch. And I imagine we get 2 more with the next 2 drops, if I had to guess. I imagine it would be 8 players or 7 players, kind of what we saw in this trailer. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see their stories and hear all about them and see how good that actually are. The two-way guy, he played every position except catcher, so he should literally have all the positions in the game. You know what I mean? So that will be exciting. And then here's what we have. So it looks like today's, the later stream today at 5 Eastern, we got the live contest stream, Team Affinity, the legacy programs, the captain team builds, and digital deluxe choice pack attributes revealed. So that's going to be in the stream later today, which will be exciting. And we're going to go live again at 4:45 to get ready for 5. And then we got the weekly schedule right here, which is pretty exciting. So first one's out the way for today, and then we'll be back later today. But very exciting about storylines. I'm happy we finally getting some news about it. You know, they pushed it back a little bit, but yeah, very excited about this mode moving forward. But that's pretty much it over here, guys. That is all we have for today on storylines. But like I said, we'll be back in, what is it, about like 2 hours almost? Yeah, literally like 2 hours we'll be back. So definitely should be exciting with all that stuff. And then, like I said, there will be a video later tonight. So pretty late tonight, I'm going to guess. So stay tuned for that. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Go check everything out on the channel. And I'm going to be putting timestamps on all the streams starting now from, you know, because I know some people go back and a lot of people go back and watch them. So I want some timestamps to be on those as well, which will be exciting. I don't know why this keeps blurring. It's pissing me off a lot. I don't know why. But yeah, we're going to put some timestamps on those moving forward. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back in about 2 hours time. And then we'll be back for the Team Affinity feature premiere, which will be pretty exciting. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.